Hello there, YouTube. I'm going to be showing you how to take advantage of some of Logic's samples because they do have some good stuff in there, and it's worth taking a look. So right here, I have a beat that I made for my friend, and it has a bunch of different samples. This is my own recording here, and yeah, and I'll show you how I use each. Here we go. So you're right there, you're hearing the same sample twice. Yeah, the same sample but with different settings. So the first one sounds like this. And so that is using the phone filter setting, which you go here down to voice, warped voices, phone filter. And it is, I think I just added on the echo, that's something that wasn't there. And then this one is just the same thing, but just it's the stock sample with no effects, except for like little EQ, obviously. And those sort of effects on it, that's just part of the sample, that's how it was recorded. It's not anything I put on there. And if you're wondering how to find these samples, you go to Media, and then to Loops. And if you're in the little Music tab right there, if you're in the FX tab, and then you go to, right there, you go to Vocals. And they have 1,740 samples if you download all of the CDs. Or these might be on one of the CDs, I don't know. But if you do all of the 8 or 9 CDs that come with Logic, you will have 1,740 vocal samples. And you can narrow it down going male, female, or choir, and then with any of these adjectives that you want to fit the song that you're in. And something that I might recommend trying is clicking the match button, so the highest match comes first. You can hear what those sound like and decide if you want to use them or not. And what I did is I just found an artist I liked. What they do is they put the artist's name, and then they do like lyrics and improvisations and stuff. So I listened to a couple samples from different artists, and I found one that I liked. Her name is Bailey, and she did some really like soulful background type stuff. And let's hear a couple of her samples. Na, 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 la, la. Oh, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. So there's some really good stuff in there, and especially for a beat like this, they work really well. And I used a different one for like the hook or chorus or whatever you want to call it. And in the build up here, I use another one from a different person. So that's how you find the samples that I'm using. So those are those two that are used there. And then in the hook, which is here, I have a different one, which I'll show you in a second. And I have a couple different things going on there. So let me start playing it from that section. If Logic will work. Alright, so it stopped at the right time, but so this is the original Bailey background, I believe, and there's a melody which is the same thing pretty much, but with some accented notes on it, so we can hear what those sound like together.
Oh, 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 oh.
The second one, the melody is a lot quieter, but it adds just a little depth to it. So you can find those by going to Bailey Melodies right there. And then this is a DJ scratch, which is also in the effects. Just search DJ right here, and then you'll find it. And this is, I don't think I did anything to it. We can check. I think I might have cut it short or like cut parts out of it. But let me show you what that sounds like. So that sample just adds a little interest to the beat, because if you hear sort of the same thing for like 8 or 16 bars, whatever it is, without it building and without it changing, without any elements adding, it can get a little bit boring, a little bit stale, in my opinion. So I just added this to add a little bit of extra interest to the build of the beat. And this is also where the synth built, the heavier synth drops into the song. So now we have the hook, chorus, whatever you want to call it, which is right here, and I will play that for you right now. Alright, so that is the hook, and I have a different Bailey background, as you could probably hear. Let me just find out which one it is real quick. We can listen to it by itself. So what it actually is the Bailey background that I played here, but I cut it in half because I didn't want the second one to show up, the second half of it to show up again. So it sounds just like this one. Just that part. So that's what I used there, is actually the same thing. And then we come to sort of the drop and the build back up to another chorus, and I have sort of this explosion type thing, which is pretty quiet, but we'll check it out to hear what it sounds like, if Logic works. Alright, so as you can hear, I have a different background vocal and the explosion, which just has delay design on it. Not really much going on in delay design, just sort of like fades off in a bunch of times, and they're every 4 beats. I don't think I do anything with pan or anything. Yeah, so it's just they sort of fade off into the distance. And if you're looking for the delay design, you go to the your inserts, delay, and delay designer right there. And then so the explosion is part of a bigger sample,